You are listening to the Knightline Sports Network, brought to you by Travis Dever and the Dever team, 386-690-1636.
This is WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580, Orlando's news and talk.
Welcome to Knightline at Night on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Night Nation's only call-in show goes live now.
All right. Hello, Orlando. Hello, Night Nation. This is Andrew Phegley. This is Knightline at Night, live from the Dever Team Studios, brought to you by Chad Barlaw, assisting injured veterans get the help they deserve. Give Chad a call, 407-599-9036, or visit protectingvets.com. You can also call Travis Dever for all your new Smyrna Beach real estate needs, 386-690-1636. And you can call me if you need a new or used car, truck, or Jeep. You can call me, Andrew Phegley, 386-736-3000. 386-736-3000. If you need a new car, I will hook you up, especially if you come and say go Knights. We're taking your calls, 844-580-9326, 844-580-9326, or you can use the open mic feature in the WDBO app. Once again, I'm Andrew Phegley, at AP_Knightline on Twitter. Got Big Ben Stout here with me, at Big Social 32 on Twitter, and Roger Phipps at Night Bengal on Twitter, from the Santa Rosa Beach studios. And you can find all the rest of our content on nightlinesports.com. We are obviously talking UCF stuff. So big bowl announcement today. We're going to talk about that. Basketball win, just a blasting, a shellacking, whatever you want to call it, yeah. A smoking of Bethune-Cookman today. And unfortunately, we have to talk about the loss of one of our football players. This last week, Otis Anderson, running back on the national championship 2017 team, and you know, a couple other years there, was shot and killed. They had a memorial kind of a service for him last night on the UCF campus. Just a player, I think, driven thing. Family member, his mother was there as well. We're not going to go into the details of any of this, but we dedicate this show to him, and we will miss him. And it shouldn't happen. I'll just say that. That's all I'm going to say. You all know the details probably already, or you can find it online. We're not going to talk about it, but he was an absolute electric player, and did a lot of good for our UCF team, and did a lot of good things outside of football as well. Just an all around really, really good dude. I'm going to stop talking about it because I'm going to get super emotional. So Ben, if you want to say something, Roger, if you want to say something, you're more than welcome. Ben, you can go ahead and start.
Yeah, I'll quickly, I mean, obviously echo some of the thoughts that you just came across, and all of Night Nation, right? This has been a very tough week for the UCF family. We lost somebody that I never got the pleasure to meet him or his mother in my time watching him play at UCF. But you kind of felt like you knew him. And you kind of felt like you knew his family. And I think that the reason why that is because he just seemed to be a very genuinely good and warm person. One that had a great smile. He absolutely had just a wonderful smile. And he was very candid in interviews, but he also was absolutely electric, as you said, on the field. Seeing some of the highlights that I've seen over the last week, just, kind of trying to catch up on some of the great plays that even I forgot about. I kind of didn't realize how awesome he was in the 2017 season, as a true freshman, just how integral he was to that team. You kind of forget about that mainly because he was so great the rest of his career, and he had so many important plays, which we can talk about. There's so many that come to mind, but certainly great person first, great representative of the university, and one that, was taken from us too young.
Absolutely. Roger?
How do you talk about somebody that's made an impact on literally thousands of people and a personal impact on, if not hundreds and or thousands of people? I can tell you the first time I met him and Denise was his freshman year. We had the opportunity after the spring game to go onto the field, and my son and myself hung out with Denise and him for a little bit after it was over and everybody was on the field. Everybody was trying to take pictures with him, and got a big hug from Denise and talked to him, took pictures, and ever since then, anytime I saw them at the game, Denise always came over and said hi, and Otis was always very, very friendly and willing to talk and just chat. And it's the type of person he was. The game wasn't, he was great at the game, but the game didn't define who he was as a person. And so for me, I have not just the memories on the field, but I have those moments that I was able to share with both of them. And I'm thankful for that. And seeing him at the football lunches and all that stuff, he always made sure to stop by and say hi. And he knew who I was, and I certainly knew who he was, and I knew his mom and him both. So this was super hard for me too. Thankfully I was able to make some memories with him on a personal connection. But he's 23 years young and gone from the world and was making an impact on the football field. And as both of you said, off of it. So it's a loss, not just for me, but it's a loss for a lot of people in the community, Knight Nation. The outpouring of support that you saw, I think, reflected that. So, words are words, and they're never enough. But I'm thankful that I was able to be a small part of his life, and vice versa, and thank him for all the hard work, effort, and the many memories and moments that he made with us. So that's all I can really say.
Good. Thank you. That was awesome. Both of you. I have had Otis on my show before, on my podcast. You can go find that at knightlinesports.com in the archives. I even had his mother on my show, Denise. I've talked to Denise at every single football game that Otis ever played at home. She literally sat right in front of me. Wow. So I talked to her every single football game that we were both at. And she was involved in this as well and was injured. As you guys probably all know, luckily she came out of it really unscathed for the most part. But there was, rumor at the beginning that she was not okay. And that was rough. For both of them, because I know both of them. I had her on my show for Mother's Day because she was that type of a mother to Otis. So she's the only person I've ever had on my show for Mother's Day.
Because of Mother's Day, right? Yeah.
Because it's Mother's Day.
And that shows,
I interviewed her because she's always been very vocal, and some people like the vocalness and some people don't, on Twitter and everything else. But she always stood up for her boy. And Roger was saying, and I think Ben, you said that too, he never had anything but a smile on his face. I never heard him say one bad thing about anybody. So, sorry, I'm getting emotional. It's just one of those things. So everybody knows that listens to me. I'm kind of an emotional guy either way. So I can go one way or the other. I get mad really easy and I can get upset really easy. So, anyway, just what a bummer. Did not need to happen. So anyway, we're moving on. Thank you for listening to that. I appreciate it, y'all. And, if, there's GoFundMe's and everything else set up out there. And I'm sure there will be some kind of Otis Anderson Foundation, Otis Anderson Jr. Foundation, not related to the Otis Anderson that played NFL football back in the day, not related to him. But he is a big supporter because he knows of him because they had the same name. And he definitely, Otis Anderson Sr., the football player, definitely gave his condolences to Knight Nation and to the family as well. So anyway, back to things that have a little bit of a little bit more joy to them. Besides that, UCF has accepted the invitation for the battle floor. Jeez. All right. I got to pull it together here. UCF accepts invitation to battle Florida in the Gasparilla Bowl. For the 5th time in history, UCF football team is headed to Tampa Bay area for the postseason bowl game, this time to play in the Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl, and they will meet Southeastern Conference representative Florida at 7 p.m. Eastern on Thursday, December 23rd, 2021 at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa in the Gasparilla Bowl. Coach Malzahn says we're excited to be playing in the Gasparilla Bowl against a quality in-state opponent like Florida. It's a great opportunity for our fans, being right down the road at a place our program has had a lot of success, and we've had a lot of success over there. Really looking forward heading over to Tampa. Tampa, by the way, is UCF's other hometown because their team, whatever. They don't have too much support there. The Tampa school that plays over there. This is a program record 6th consecutive postseason bowl, which is a big deal. Haven't played Florida in a while, but this will be the 3rd time following 2 games that UCF played at Florida, where they whooped us 42-0 and 58-27. That was in 2006 and 1999. So we're also slated to meet Florida October 5th, 2024 in Gainesville, September 14th, 2030 in Orlando, and September 3rd, 2033 in Gainesville. So we will be playing Florida. Now we're going to do 4 games against Florida, I guess. It was a
and
3
the next decade and a half, I guess.
Yeah. But I mean, whatever. I think it's great that we're getting to play a team that we've been wanting to play for a long time.
Right.
And since we have become at UCF a stronger program and all that, I think it's about time. This may not be the greatest year to do this for either team.
Yeah.
But it's going to be fun. And, that's a quality opponent. You can't ask for more of a quality opponent than that. And, the ability for it being in Florida, in Tampa, both fan bases, easily accessible. It was very smart on the Bulls, on the Gasparilla Bulls decision that they made to invite these 2 teams. I mean, it's a no-brainer.
I'd say it was a big get for the Gasparilla Bowl as well. Yeah, to get that matchup. I mean, that's a matchup that I think on December 23rd that will gain a lot of eyeballs, of course, from the state of Florida. The ratings locally will be very high, but I think nationally as well. It'll be an intriguing matchup. Like you said, it's a little bit of a strange year to be meeting up with them, but when you're a program like UCF, you're striving to kind of have that reputation that Florida has, and so this is a great matchup, a great opportunity for our team.
Yeah, Gasparilla Bowl, or the Beef O'Brady's Bowl that it used to be, has always been a good
Bowl.
One. Yeah, the Bitcoin Bowl. It's been a bunch of stuff. St. Petersburg, Beef O'Brady's, Bitcoin Bowl has been a good one. So real close. All right, we will be back, and we will talk a lot more about this and more on Knightline tonight. Right back after this.
An auto accident can change your life forever. At Chad Barr Law, we are raising the bar on what to expect from your personal injury attorney. Hi, I'm Chad Barr, and I want you to know that our entire team is dedicated to providing you with the representation you deserve in your greatest time of need. If you or a loved one have been injured in an auto accident, call 407-599-9036 for a free consultation or visit chadbarlaw.com. At Chad Barr Law, our clients come to us in need and leave as family. Offices Altamont Springs.
Hey, this is Travis Dever, Kai's Real Estate, the Dever team, New Smyrna Beach. Your source for real estate and everything else, New Smyrna Beach. Proud sponsor of Knightline. Call me anytime at 386-690-1636. That's 386-690-1636. Let me show you my hometown, New Smyrna Beach, UCF's favorite beach. Go Knights and charge on.
Looking for more out of your Porsche? Look no further than Flat6Motorsports.com. They have the widest selection of aftermarket Porsche parts anywhere in the world. With over 85 product lines and in-depth expertise, Flat6Motorsports.com is your one-stop shop for any Porsche performance needs. Whether you're shopping for intakes, exhausts, suspension, or tuning, they have you covered. Flat6Motorsports.com is the premier Porsche aftermarket specialist. Check them out at Flat6Motorsports.com.
And now, back to Knightline at Night on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Call now at 844-580-9326.
All right, back on Knightline at Night. I'm Andrew Phegley, live from the Dever Team Studios, brought to you by Chad Barr Law. Talking UCF stuff, UCF sports, UCF 81, Bethune-Cookman 45 in basketball today. What a game, Ben. Ben, you're the basketball guy. You played at UCF. Darren Green Jr. went off with 18. Taim Freeman as well.
Yeah.
This is one of the things I want to ask you about Taim Freeman, because this guy kind of like came out of nowhere. I don't think a lot of people know who he is and where he came from, me included. I had to, figure that out. But go ahead and let us know what you know about this guy. And he's really kind of showing up this year out of nowhere.
Yeah, so he's actually a junior college guy. He was a freshman in junior college last year. He was he was the only freshman on the first team All-American for junior college players last season. And I believe maybe this is just a COVID thing. He's reclassified. He is a freshman for us, so that's great. So he's a freshman coming in for us. And
so he has time.
I believe so. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'll double check that in the break, but I'm pretty sure he's a freshman. He's classified as a freshman for us. But regardless, he's a great young player. He's got a good size to him. He's got good length, and he is, I think, finding his role a little bit offensively. He's contributing well offensively, but like a lot of Dawkins recruits, right? He kind of looks at that defense and sees, how well he can play defense, and especially in the full court press where they do this kind of where they put a larger guard or the small forward on the ball, and then as soon as that ball is passed in the full court press, they trap with that with the man-to-man and the additional player. He is playing that kind of head of the diamond in that diamond one trap, and he is creating a lot of turnovers and creating a lot of mismatches in his great defense as well. And I think it gives it the ability to kind of turn that into instant offense. Extremely athletic. I mean, he's like one of the, while we have a ton of athletes on this team, I mean, CJ Walker is kind of like that supreme athlete, and he's right there with him, like kind of, challenging him for the best athlete on this team. So he is somebody that to watch out for. I'm pleased to see that he's kind of fitting in to his role already, and I think there's way more to come. But today, as far as playing against Bethune-Cookman, we just jumped on him early. It's a lesser matchup. Bethune-Cookman is actually one of the teams I recently got to watch 2 games in a row when I was doing some commentary earlier this year for a streaming service. I got to color commentary for their games, and so I've seen Bethune-Cookman close up, and they have some great players on their team. They're certainly not at the point the UCF is, and UCF showed, playing against a little bit of a lesser opponent, they kind of showed that they are still a good team despite dropping 2 recently and kind of not looking great at Auburn. That's kind of an understatement of some of the ways that went in the second half at Auburn. But that being said, I'm glad to see some of our shooters got back on track, and we just played much better together on offense, especially.
Yeah, it looks like it. I'm just looking at the stats here. I didn't get to see the game because unfortunately I had to work, but looks like we went on a 13-point run in the first half. Lead only changed once, was tied a couple times, but we led 36-35 of the game, which is most of it.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. And free throw shooting was awesome in the first half for UCF, 100%, which is really a thing that they've been working on. A couple of years ago, it was not good. I remember at all.
We're one of the top teams in the country. We're averaging over 80% from the stripe. So if we keep that up, we're going to be really
entire
tough.
game. 16 of 18. Yeah, nearly 98. 88.9. 3.9 of 21. We will talk more about this when we come back from this break. We'll be back shortly on Knightline at Night.
If you haven't figured it out yet, I love Tijuana Flats. I would love them even if they weren't a partner with us on the Knightline Sports Network. They have all kinds of great Tex-Mex food, and it's fresh, by the way. Made to order burritos, tacos, enchiladas, chimichangas, quesadillas, bowls, nachos, and taco salads. And if you haven't tried the queso, you are completely missing out. It is the best queso that I've ever had in my life. Absolutely hands down. And the sauce bar that they have, everything from wild to mild in there. Absolutely awesome, awesome stuff. Not only do I love the food at Tijuana Flats, but I love the company, a UCF-born company. And they give back to the community with the Justin Queso Foundation. So head to your local Tijuana Flats. Tex-Mex for everyone. Hey Jeep Wrangler owners, have you ever sat in your office at work and watched the rain just pour into your Jeep because the weatherman said that there was a 0 chance of rain? Or you put your doors back on because there was a 100% chance and then not a drop of rain fell? Well, there's a company out there that can help take the worry away and give you the peace of mind to be without your doors. The company's called Life Without Doors. They make waterproof rain curtains and dash covers for Wranglers. Life Without Doors is there to help make the decision to leave the doors at home an easy one. Find out more at lifewithoutdoors.com.
Spice up your company with homemade marketing services from Tasty Gravy Creative. Tasty Gravy serves up a menu of budget-friendly marketing, graphic design, and public relations services customized to your specific goals. Co-owned by a UCF graduate, Tasty Gravy can help refresh your brand, strengthen your online presence, or reinforce your company's message. Contact Tasty Gravy for help with your website, social media, marketing, advertising materials, and more. Visit tastygravy.com.
And now, back to Knightline at Night on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Call now at 844-580-9326.
All right, back on Knightline at Night, live from the Dever Team Studios, brought to you by Chad Barr Law. Assisting injured veterans get the help they deserve. Give Chad a call, 407-599-9036, or visit protectingvets.com. You can also call Travis Dever for all your New Smyrna Beach real estate needs, 386-690-1636. And if you need a new or used car, truck, or Jeep, you can call me, Andrew Phegley, 386-736-3000. 386-736-3000. I will get you hooked up. If you come in and say, go Knights, you'll get $500 off. Anything on the lot. We're taking your calls, 844-580-9326, 844-580-9326, or you can use the open mic feature in the WDBO app. Once again, I'm Andrew Phegley at AP_Knightline on Twitter. Got Big Ben Stout here with me at Big Social 32. Got Roger Phipps with me at Night Bengal, and he is in beautiful Santa Rosa Beach, Florida. And you can find all the rest of our content on NightlineSports.com. We're talking UCF sports. We talked a little bit about the Gasparilla Bowl that the Knights are on their way to, and we may talk a little bit more about that coming up here. We've talked a little bit about basketball. UCF, by the way, in that Gasparilla Bowl will be facing Florida, the Florida Gators. That's exciting. I'm happy. Finally, we get to play Florida. We haven't played them in a long time. They whooped us really bad the last couple of times. So maybe this is our year to do it in Tampa in front of both of our fans, UCF fans
yeah,
and
for sure.
and Florida fans, easily accessible to both fan bases. which is absolutely awesome. That you could wish nothing more for a bowl game than, to have the ability of both fan bases to travel there.
Yeah, I'm thinking about going myself. I'm not sure yet, but I've actually just, like I've told you off the air, I had a lot of people texting me, Florida fans, Florida family, that are saying, "Oh, this is interesting." I haven't seen a whole lot of, smack talk yet from these Florida fans, but it's a great opportunity to go to the game and check this matchup out. We're certainly two teams that are far different than when we played them back last, I think you said, 2006. I remember that game. I look back on that memory not so fondly, obviously, as a UCF fan. But this is, as we said, it's a interesting time with all of our injuries and with some of the kind of craziness that's going on over there in Gainesville as well. To have this matchup take place, but it is the matchup that we have, and it's an exciting one for both fan bases. And I think that both teams are really going to be looking forward to this.
Yeah, not the greatest matchup between the two. Roger, you can probably talk about this a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, for me, Jorts Nation versus Knight Nation, it's more about it's the war of Jorts 4. I don't know, but at the end of the day,
there has to be something about a mullet in there too.
I guess we could say
the mullet warriors,
or I don't know,
mulleteers.
But listen, we're getting to play Florida. We've got a series that we signed with them recently. Neither team, I don't think, neither fan base is probably going to be talking too much smack because, Florida's got their own issues. They didn't have a great season. They lost their coach. We've got our issues. So I don't think there's anybody who says, yes, we're going to completely boat race the other team, right? This is more about hey, we both licked our wounds. This is a bowl game. Let's see who comes out on top. So, for me, it's always good when we get to play Florida. It's funny that we get to do it in Tampa. They're going to I don't know if they played Florida this year or they're going to play Florida. The Cows are going to play Florida next year or something like that. So
they got smoked by Florida earlier this year.
Yeah, that's what it was. So if we beat Florida in their stadium after they got smoked by Florida, I think that would be the just desserts for this year, and that's what I would look forward to more than anything.
Yeah, South Florida was beat by them 42-20. Second game of the season. But these teams are really pretty evenly matched. If you look at the numbers for season stats, UCF was 32.2 per game. Florida was 31.8.
Yeah. Yards are yards are a little bit.
Points allowed per game, 25.2 for us, 26.6 for them. I mean, this is ridiculous. 399 on yards for us, 470 for them. Yards passing for us, 211. They're 261. Yards rushing, we're 188. They're 209. Yards allowed, we're 368. They're 362.
That's crazy.
I mean, it's really close. Neither one of us had the season that we wanted. We've already said that. They were 6-6, barely bowl eligible.
Barely beat FSU.
Barely beat FSU. They went through a coaching change. Who knows who's coaching them for this bowl game? They're probably going to say they weren't interested. They weren't, they weren't motivated if we beat them. If they beat us, they're going to say they were horribly motivated. They wanted to do whatever they could, to right the ship and all that stuff. So I think this is a good, genuine bowl game. This is what bowl games are supposed to be about, ruckus fans and just, giving teams the opportunity to play an extra game for their fans, for their team, for their school. And that's what it is. Hopefully, I don't think that we're going to have like our last bowl game where we had 5 players that sat out that because they were getting drafted into the NFL. I don't think we have that situation this year. I think most of our guys are probably going to play this game, and most of them probably want to play this game.
Yeah, and I think with all the injuries that we've had this year and young players that have either had to play or just, stepped into that role. And I think that those extra practices that we get for the bowl games is just going to pay huge dividends for next season, which is really what we need as Knights fans, right? This football team, we're looking forward to building some sort of momentum, carrying over from this year. We win last 5 of 6, I believe. And just continuing to kind of build that momentum, looking forward to next season.
It would be huge for momentum as far as that goes. Roger, you have something to say?
I was just going to say that, this is the last time we will face Florida as a non-Power 5 opponent, because the next time we play them will be in the Big 12. So, we play, as you said, we play them in 2024. So it'll be interesting if our recruiting, it'll be a good litmus test, I think, from our recruiting perspective to see what kind of team we field in 2024 versus now, because Gus is tearing it up on the recruiting trail.
Absolutely.
So, I think for me, it's also a measuring stick. I mean, this is not our best team. We don't have all of our players, but it'll be a good measuring stick for the next time we roll around.
Absolutely. So December 23rd, 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. I want to get back to basketball a little bit because we didn't really we talked about pretty much one player, but they had a great game today. They stumbled earlier in the week against was it this week or was
at
it
Auburn?
Auburn,
It was last. Yeah. Oh, I guess it was last week. I guess you could say it was Wednesday.
Yeah,
it was midweek.
I don't know. I don't even know what day it is.
It was Wednesday. Wednesday was the night that we played against Auburn at Auburn, number 19 in the country. We played, I think, great defense in the first half, and played well overall to hang with them in the first half. It was a close game at the half, and unfortunately, they just kind of pulled away from us in the second half, and just really kind of. It was a humbling game for our team, and maybe they needed it, right? It was a tough environment. The place was packed.
Oh, it was insane. I was watching it on TV, and I even texted you. I'm like, man, I wish our arena would be like this.
No doubt.
And that's what it should be. And I think it will get to that, especially coming up with us joining the Big 12. It has to.
Oh, it
has to.
It will, for sure.
I mean, when you're playing teams like that, Big 12 is a basketball conference as well as a football conference. So it may even be a little bit more of a basketball conference than a football conference.
Yeah, like three
it's the top 1 or 2 every year.
Yeah, 3 of the last 4 years, it's been rated the number 1 basketball conference in the country. And so, last thing I'll say about Auburn is that was a game where our outside shooters, our guards, are the guys that are very capable of knocking down 3-point shots, in particularly Darren Green Jr. Were just completely off. Even if the shot was wide open, sometimes you get, when you're in opposing arenas, you get the levels behind the basket kind of screw up your depth perception. Luckily, he bounced back today with a great performance, going 4 for 8 from the 3-point line and 18 points. But on last Wednesday, he went 0 for 6, I believe. I don't have the stats in front of me, but regardless, he was off that game, and it's great to see him, not only him, but also Brandon Mahan and Darius Perry bounce back with some great games today from behind the arc.
Yeah, so the 2 losses in a row versus Oklahoma and then Auburn, and then to have a win like this, I think is a big deal, because we've got some teams coming up that we want to beat for sure.
Well, I can tell you on the Oklahoma, I mean, that was a completely different story. I was at that game, and we had a chance. We had 11 seconds left with the ball. We were looking for a 3-point shot, couldn't find it. To Oklahoma's credit, they defended the arc really, really well, went inside and tried to drive the paint, and it didn't work out. The Auburn game, I can't stress this enough of how bad of a night of shooting it was in the second half. They missed 13 shots. I mean, it's at least 26 points. And then if you roll in the 3-pointers, that's a huge difference in the game. I think this team can hang with them. I just think that they had a completely off night, because it wasn't the defense that Auburn was playing that was doing that. It was, definitely us just missing open shots. That being said, one of the things that I'm kind of looking for is the turnovers. That seems to be creeping up a little bit more and more and more throughout the season. We're doing well with our assists, but our turnovers, even in this game early with BC, it was just how. So, we've got to get better with the turnovers. Otherwise, that's going to haunt us later on.
Yeah, we still have periods of the game where we make these passes and we're just like, what was that? Like, it's just wild. Some of the like unforced errors that we make, which is interesting because we do have such a strong backcourt. And I like some of the things that are done, that Dawkins does with some of the dribble handoff action that we have. And I really like the pick and roll, especially if that pick and roll is with CJ Walker, diving towards the paint. Love to see that. There was some great plays with that in this game, against Bethune-Cookman today. I think they need to, especially when they're struggling like we did against Auburn, make a better effort and have better plays to get the ball inside. With Mbake Zhang and CJ Walker. I think both of those guys are highly capable postmen that could if they can get going on the inside on the offensive end. It opens up for our shooters, and I think that'll pay dividends, especially when we're having an off night from beyond the arc.
Absolutely. Lots of basketball to come for UCF. This is extremely early in the season. It seems like they're getting their feet under them, though, with all these games that they've played already. They are currently 5-2. So, there's a lot left. We have getting into conference play here fairly shortly, and then back out again. They have that early conference game against Temple, but then FSU and Michigan in there as well. All right, we're going to take our final break, and we will be right back on Knightline at Night.
I'm Jeff Allen. Join me each and every week on the Knightline Sports Network for the AAC Report. We bring you in-depth coverage of each school in football, basketball, baseball, softball, soccer, golf, tennis, and more, as well as bring you insider interviews and focus in on the biggest games and news of the week. That's all right here each week on the AAC Report, only on the Knightline Sports Network.
Welcome. This is a promo for the Take a Left at Albuquerque podcast, new to the Knightline Sports Network. You should listen to it. I say things like this.
We need to stop blaming Jerry because we would do the exact same thing if we owned the Dallas freaking Cowboys. Do you know how much fun it is to own the Dallas Cowboys?
My guests will say things sometimes like this.
It's the Lord of the Flies thing that happens when they don't understand that things are wrong, spoiler alert, until Piggy dies.
Lord of the Flies has been out for like 100 years. I don't even know.
Sorry to everyone at home who I spoiled the book for. A book's been out for like 90 years or something.
And sometimes, rarely though, I'll say really stupid things like this. If they don't make it out of the West and the Raptors get to the finals, I will go on either this show or whoever's show and say that Kawhi Leonard is overrated because I have too much evidence of it. New episodes drop every Friday with me and some of my good friends right here on the Knightline Sports Network.
And now, back to Knightline at Night on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Call now at 844-580-9326.
Alrighty, back on Knightline at Night. I'm Andrew Phegley, live from the Dever Team Studios, brought to you by Chad Barlaw. A good friend of ours named Jeff Allen does the AAC report on the Knightline Sports Network, and he has this week's recap of action, which was really only Cincinnati. Congratulations to Cincinnati, by the way. They made the playoff.
Yeah, pretty awesome. Big
deal for a Group of 5 team. You're welcome that UCF opened the door for you. But here's Jeff Allen with the AAC scoreboard.
The Cincinnati Bearcats are going to the college football playoff. They solidified their position by downing Houston in the AAC championship game 35-20. The Bearcats now will face the top seed Alabama in the Cotton Bowl on New Year's Eve. I'm Jeff Allen. We'll recap that and get you set for the annual Army-Navy game on this week's AAC report, only on the Knightline Sports Network.
Alrighty, and the next thing that we need to do is our Tijuana Flats Hot Take of the Week. Welcome to the Tijuana Flats Hot Take of the Week. Visit TijuanaFlats.com for takeout or delivery, or visit your local Tijuana Flats. Tex-Mex for everyone. All right, the Tijuana Flats hot take of the week, because you know that sauce bar that they have at Tijuana Flats is absolutely awesome. I absolutely love it. Everything from mild to wild in there, I say. So if you want some good Tex-Mex food, fresh Tex-Mex food, Tijuana Flats is where you need to go. We have used this in the past as a score prediction thing. We don't really have a football game to do a score prediction, so we're going to go back to just doing a hot take. Ben.
All right. Sheck, Mbake, Zhang, and CJ Walker. I'm going to predict that both of them will be on the all defense team, all conference. This to go even further on a hot take, I am going to say that CJ Walker is going to make one of the 3 all conference teams this year. I think he's stepped up so great in the early season, and the sky's the limit for him. I really like what he's doing in this, accepting his role in this system.
Awesome. Roger?
For me, my Tijuana Flats hot take of the week is that our women's hoops team is going to make the Sweet 16 this year. They are on fire, and I wouldn't be surprised if they made it further. Their defense is phenomenal, and I love what they're doing, and congratulations to Coach A.
All righty. I'm going to go a little bit more long-term with mine. UCF women's volleyball did extremely well this year, won the American Championship and was in the tournament. Lost, unfortunately, in the second round of the tournament last night to UCLA, number 13 UCLA. I'm going to go as far as saying when we join the Big 12, our volleyball team at UCF is the very first year Big 12 champions.
Wow.
Because I think that Coach Dagenet over there has built a dynasty with this team, and they're only getting better. They've gotten better every single year, I think, since he's been the coach. He is awesome, loves the girls, and you know, they play like it. They play like they're playing for their coach, they're playing for their school, and they do a great job. So he's done a great job with his staff.
I feel like Dagenet is like the most underrated coach that we have on our campus.
Absolutely.
He is fantastic.
Probably one of the most underrated coaches in America. Agreed. As far as volleyball goes. I mean, this team is incredible. Yeah. Unfortunately, in 5 sets, they lost to number 13 UCLA last night. But
4 straight American Conference championships for Dagenet.
That's a dynasty.
Yeah,
right there. 4 straight American championships.
Yeah, I mean, obviously McKenna Millville has been a part of all 4 of them, and she's going to be a UCF Hall of Famer one day. She's a spectacular player. But that being said, every single season we have like freshmen and sophomores like step up and play awesome for Dagenet. I mean, he has built that team the right way.
Absolutely. All right, that's going to do it for us. Thank you very much for listening. I'm Andrew Phegley. Go Knights.
Charge on.